No, honestly, we got to. My bracelet. Yeah. Try a sun boy. No, that's a lot. Watching, yeah. My brother.
I'm like, they're really flexible. I mean, it's smudged up. Promise? Go the other way. Hey, I'm not gonna run this semi.
Oh, okay, that's what
Oh, right there? Okay. Sorry. David, right here. I gotta sit down here in the shade because I'm so delicate. Thank you. How are you? Got a bad shoulder, bad hip, another bad shoulder. You really don't want to see this hair. Never take the hat actually off my glasses. My dad. $3. Look, my glasses! You said you also needed them. I wanted those glasses! Guys said he broke my beautiful glasses. You said you didn't. She got what do you expect to come out? You don't get your hat. I don't think I got 3 outside. You cut your sweatshirt, Rebecca. Grandpa would have asked if that was hash. Grandpa probably would have. I wanted those glasses. You have some.
Good afternoon again. Welcome to Minneapolis, one of the Site's 3 softball regional championships. Good luck to Smoky Valley and Minneapolis in making the semifinal game. Smoky Valley will be the visitors. Minneapolis will be the home team on the scoreboard. The winner will play Wednesday here in Minneapolis at 6 p.m. for advance ahead to the state tournament. As soon as the coach's meeting is finished, we'll get going.
I'm not domestic. Daddy, he needs some. Daddy drugs some. No, not even close. See, I'm sorry you are. Okay, the different kind of smart up for me and smart. What? I need it. Okay, but I'm older than you.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome into those who caught game number 1 of this quarterfinal between Minneapolis and the Plainville Lady Cardinals. Welcome back. It is time for the semifinal round as the Minneapolis Lady Lions, who come in the 1 seed, the hosts. They are 19-4 following a 15-0 decimation of Plainville Stockton. They will play the 5 seed in Smoky Valley, who did not look like the road team in their first contest. Smoky Valley came in 5-15. They're now 6-15, and they won by a run rule as well, 16-4 over Russell, setting up this semifinal showdown between, again, Minneapolis and Smoky Valley. The winner goes to the regional championship for a chance to get to the 3A state tournament. Meanwhile, the loser's season is over. They will go home, and for the seniors, it'll be the final game here, as trying to bunt is Kensley Haxton. And before we go any further, I want to say a special thank you to today's presenting sponsor, Scott Osterman at American Family Insurance, the presenting sponsor of both of these playoff games for the Minneapolis Lady Lions. Your starting lineup, beginning with Smoky Valley, presented by Billings Group. Shortstop Kensley Haxton is leading things off. She is facing an early 0-2 count and make it a strikeout as Bailey Weatherman is off to an excellent start. It's strikeout number 1 for Weatherman, her 101st of the season, as she got numbers 99 and 100 in the first game. That'll bring up the starting pitcher in Riley Nawick, followed by first baseman Riley Toll, third baseman Kate Griffin, and second baseman Sam Toll. This ball chopped up the middle. That's going to get through, and it's a base hit for Riley Nawick. So a good piece of hitting. It's one away. It's one aboard here for Smoky Valley. Rounding out the lineup, it's starting catcher Alexis Gordon, then center fielder Cameron Ryan, left fielder Caitlin Shoshki, and right fielder Ingve Johnson. Here comes Riley Toll, and the question is, will they pitch to her? Weatherman's been phenomenal this year. Toll is going to chop this one down the line. They will let that hit the chalk and roll foul. I pose that question because there have been a couple of batters that have done some crazy stuff. Riley Toll has 7 home runs. 6 of those have come in just the last 6 games, and make it 8 because she hit 2 home runs in the win over Russell. She has been a machine, as has Kate Griffin, who bats in the cleanup spot. Weatherman, her pitch is a called strike on the outer half, and the count goes to 0-2 here on Toll. Brady Weatherman, of course, no slouch, a senior making her 14th appearance of the season. This will be her 13th, or rather her 11th start. She came into today with 66 2/3 innings pitched, a 9-2 record, a 1.79 ERA. But here's the impressive part, 98 strikeouts to 11 walks. And she will add another to that list as she gets Riley Toll swinging at a high-rise ball to bring up Kate Griffin. Griffin has also been fantastic this year, 6 home runs for her. 14 on the team, 7 for Toll, 6 for Griffin. These are your 2 power bats for Smoky Valley. First pitch on the way. That's in there for a called strike at the knees, says the home plate umpire. Like I said, for Smoky Valley, you have to question how they got themselves into this position, because watching their game against Russell, they look like a much better team than your typical 5-15 squad. Of course, they've got their hands full here against 19-4 Minneapolis. Lady Lions looking to make a big run. This ball fouled away. Let's take you around the horn for the Minneapolis defense. Michaela Doering is your starting catcher. Bailey Randall Holt is at first, then Kagan Hardesty at second. Your shortstop is Miley McClure. Third baseman Ashlyn Alderson. Your outfield from left to right is Ashlyn Roth, Sydney Parks, and in right field, Sierra Cozart. Slow number back to the pitcher, picked up by Weatherman, and she'll take care of it herself for the second out. Well, it should be the third out of the inning. No. What did I miss? Foul ball. Okay. So they're going to say Griffin rolled that to the pitcher off of her foot. Either way, the count is 0-2, and Weatherman's never going to complain about an opportunity to pick up another strikeout. Here comes the 0-2. That one is too high. Runner takes off 4 and is in safely at second. That's Nawick. And it's a runner in scoring position here for the Lady Vikings. Griffin trying to get something rolling here, but an 0-2 count will have to be protective of the plate. Here comes the 1-2. She will get under that, but it's lifted out to right, and the catch is made. That will wrap up the top of the first. Minneapolis up to bat. When we come back, it's coverage of the regional semifinals presented by Scott Osherman, agent at American Family Insurance.
Life is better with American Family Insurance because our agents provide specialized local expertise to help you get the right coverage at the right price. We understand that farming and ranching is at the heart of what you do, and we want to help protect what you've worked so hard for. Let's build the policy your farm and ranch deserves.
Contact Scott Osherman, agent at Scott Osherman Agency, Inc. at 75-392-3111 today.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
Back at the ballpark here in Minneapolis, it's our Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week, bringing you this year from the Equity Bank broadcast booth, courtesy of Scott Osherman and American Family Insurance. It'll be Minneapolis up to bat for the first time, and let's meet the starting lineup for the Lady Lions, courtesy of the good folks at Billings Group. Center fielder Sydney Parks will lead things off, followed by starting pitcher Brady Weatherman, second baseman Kagan Hardesty, first baseman Bailey Randall Holt in the cleanup spot today. Then it's right fielder Sierra Cozart, third baseman Ashlyn Alderson, shortstop Miley McClure, catcher Michaela Doring, and bringing up the rear of the lineup is left fielder Ashlyn Roth. It's another quick put out here for the Smoky Valley shortstop. Let's take you around the horn for the Lady Vikings. Behind the plate is Alexis Gordon. Your first baseman is Riley Toll. Then second baseman Sam Toll, shortstop Kensley Haxton, and third baseman Kate Griffin. Your outfield from left to right consists of Shashki, Johnson, and Ryan. First pitch here. Touch low, left down there by Brady Weatherman. Boy, it was a weird game, but a game that Minneapolis came out with the victory in 15-0. Weatherman laces one into center. It is off the glove of the center fielder who tried to make a diving catch. It was a good effort by Cameron Ryan, but it's all for naught as Weatherman is in with, let's call it, a single. And it's Minneapolis setting up shop here in the first inning. Crazy thing for Minneapolis is they finished their season with Plainville Stockton. They won 19-1, 18-1, and then 15-1, all against the same team. And those two games that they played at Plainville Stockton were arguably worse than the one they had just a few moments ago. But they end the Cardinals season. Now they focus up on the Lady Vikings as that gets by, and Weatherman will take another bag. Boy, Brady Weatherman is just so aggressive on the base pass. Anybody's taken second on that, but Weatherman gets there so quickly, sometimes you wonder if she's going to turn and take a look at third. So a runner in scoring position with one away for Kagan Hardesty. And the 2-0 pitch to Hardesty misses in the dirt. Let's meet today's starting pitcher. It is Riley Nywick. She is making her 20th appearance of the year. This will be her 15th start. She has tossed 82 of the team's 101 innings. As a called strike will bring the count to 3-1. She has a 3-4 record, a 6.37 ERA to go with a 2.2 whip, 50 strikeouts, but 73 walks and 31 hit batters. And that is arguably the biggest problem, the control numbers, as she has put a lot of runners on base for free. Trying to make Minneapolis earn this here. Here comes the 3-2. And it's a walk. So there you go. A single to Weatherman, a walk to Hardesty. And it's runners at first and second for Bailey Randall Hurt. Bailey Randall Hurt swings a heavy bat. The senior is batting .613. She's slugging .887. She leads the team in most statistical categories, including 38 hits, 13 doubles. Surprisingly, 23 hits, 9 doubles, and one of the team's 5 home runs. Miley McClure, the sophomore, has 4 long balls this year. But Randall Hurd, again, she has been great about bringing teammates into score. She'll leave a low pitch at the knees, then the count is 2-1. A lot of free base runners in the first meeting between, or rather in the first game and the quarterfinals. That a little bit closer, but it's inside. And the count goes to 3-1. So it's Randall Hurt standing back in at the ready. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, and it's low, ball 4. So the bases are loaded for the second time in as many games for Minneapolis here in the first inning, and an excellent opportunity to try and drive something in. And if you're wondering, I know it's way too early to be thinking about this, but Smoky Valley's only other pitcher this year has been Kate Griffin, who has a 21 ERA. If the Lady Vikings are going to pull the upset off today, it's going to be with Nywick in the circle. Huge chance for Sierra Kozart to bust this game open. Cuts over the top of a pitch with a little late tailing movement. The count goes to 0-2. 50 strikeouts on the year for Nywick. She'd love to add one more, trying to get herself out of some trouble. Only one out here in the inning. Here comes the 0-2. And it's a soft chopper. This is basically a swinging bunt. They'll flip to the plate. It's over the top, and the runner takes off for home. That's going to score 2. Everybody else is up a station. Weatherman scores. Hardesty scores. And it's a 2-0 lead for the Lady Lions on a swinging bunt by Sierra Kozart. Boy, you don't always have to hit it hard. And that is just what the Lady Lions ordered. An early 2-0 lead here over Smoky Valley. Still only one out, and as Ashlyn Alderson comes to the plate, now you're talking about an opportunity to bring in a few more. There's no chance for a traditional double play here. It's another dream start for Minneapolis, and with their ace in the circle, they got to feel good. Obviously, you want more than 2 runs in a regional playoff game, especially in a semifinal, but this is a start here for Minneapolis. Alderson at the ready. Blocked there, then gets away. Randall Hurt holds up. Minneapolis changed jerseys in between games. Smoky Valley did not, so the Lady Vikings are in the all-black jerseys, black pants, white numerals trimmed in orange. For Minneapolis, they go with the red pants, white jerseys, blue sleeves, red numerals trimmed in blue. And as they always seem to do, Minneapolis, they've got 3 to 4 colors in their color scheme, and they get their money's worth on the jerseys. 3 balls, no strikes. Likely going to see Alderson taking all the way, and she'll take ball 4. It's new, a called strike at the knees. All I'll say about that is Alderson did not start heading for first, so maybe she knew something no one else here did. The 3-0. Ooh, big swing. Alderson wanted to add 3 runs with 1 swing of the bat. She comes up empty. All of a sudden, the count's full. And the one thing that doesn't help you here is a strikeout. Payoff pitch. Outside, there is ball 4, and Alderson will take her base. So that brings up Miley McClure. Like I said, McClure has surprisingly good pop in the bat. 33 RBI, 4 home runs this season. She will chop one. They will try to go home for 1. The throw back to first is not in time, and that's actually a heads-up play, as McClure will reach on the fielder's choice. But no more runs coming in to score, and more importantly, it's 2 away in the inning here for Michaela Doring. You know, it's a risky play, but it does also show you how much Smoky Valley trusts their defense. By the way, Smoky Valley is under the instruction this season of head coach Nicole Biegert, assisted by Wendy Coons and Tracy Pifo. Minneapolis, of course, under the instruction of head coach Brian Weatherman, assisted by Kirsty Freet and Jason Parks. This is a nub shot up the middle, but it's scooped, and a tag in the bag will retire the first inning, but not before Minneapolis puts up 2 big ones. They take a 2-0 lead into the second. You're watching coverage of the 3A State Regional from Minneapolis. Coverage today is presented by Scott Osherman at American Family Insurance.
We spend 1/3 of our lives working to build our wealth. With over 50 years of combined experience, Billings Group wants to be there to help manage yours. If you're planning for retirement or looking for financial coaching, then come see us on Westchester Drive, east of the YMCA, or visit our website at billingsgroup.com. Securities offered by registered representatives through Private Client Services, member FINRA, SIPC. Advisory products and services offered by investment advisory representatives through RFG Advisory, a registered investment advisor. RFG Advisory, Billings Group, and Private Client Services are unaffiliated entities.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
Back at the ballpark, it's time for more of the 3A regional semifinal, the first of two today here in this bracket. Of course, a total of 5 games, or 6 games rather, taking place across this bracket. Earlier today, Minneapolis knocked off Plainville Stockton 15-0. Smoky Valley defeated Russell Victoria 16-4. Ellsworth fell in a bit of a shocker to Lyons 7-6. The only other score we're waiting on is Beloit and Nickerson. That game allegedly got underway at about the same time as the first Minneapolis contest, but scores not always super quick to come in. That is a quick check, though, of your Bennington State Bank scoreboard, and a rough foul ball. It's tipped back right onto the wrist of Michaela Doring, and fair play and good play here by the umpire to give her some time to shake that off as he'll walk it all the way back out to Brady himself. Up to bat, Sam Toll, Alexis Gordon, and Cameron Ryan here for Smoky Valley. Again, they had no trouble getting runs on the board. They took an early 9-1 lead over Russell in a game that they would go on to win 16-4. These two did not meet in the regular season this year. Smoky Valley and Minneapolis, of course, consistently in the same area. And they play in the same classification, but no games on the docket this year between the two. Here comes the 0-2 from Weatherman. High and outside. Good stop there by Doring. Boy, really had to lean up and out to get to that one. Well, keep an eye out, of course, for that Beloit score. We've got plenty of other games happening around our area as well. As staying alive here is Sam Toll. Over in Class 1-2A, Bennington at 21-1 is taking on 5-17 Little River. We've also got a game between Inman at 19-1 and Brookville El Saline at 6-12. And rounding out that bracket is Sacred Heart as this ball is scooped up. Textbook throw to first. It's handled there by Hardesty. And Toll is retired for the first out of the inning. Always an adventure, like I said, trying to find some scores from around the area. Typically, Keisha does their best to update brackets, but sometimes got to break out the old monocle and do some sleuthing yourself. Here it's Alexis Gordon, the catcher, up to bat for a Smoky Valley team that on the season has really congregated a lot of their success offensively in a few of their bats. They are batting as a team just .235, slugging just .367. And with a team ERA of 8.96, you start putting the pieces together on what's been a bit of a difficult season for Smoky Valley. To be fair, though, like Plainville Stockton, this is one of the youngest teams that I can remember seeing. Riley Toll is a senior. And then you've got 2 juniors in Alexis Gordon and Haley Cabillas, who is not here today. And that's it for upperclassmen, 3. Big swing and a miss as Alexis Gordon falls behind the count to 1-2. Brady Weatherman finished the first game with her 100th strikeout of the season. She picked up where she left off. This one, though, will get away, and the count is even at 2-2 on Alexis Gordon. Smoky Valley this year, they've been in a number of battles against some really good teams. I mean, you take a look at their body of work as continuing to fight is Alexis Gordon. She is not going down without a fight. But you go back and you look at Smoky Valley, again, just 5-15, but they've been in some games that would lead you to believe it's been closer than that. 2-run loss to Hillsborough, a couple of measly 3-run losses to Larned Lacrosse. They've been on the wrong side of a couple of blowouts. Came back and got a couple of big wins over Nickerson. They actually closed out their season 4-4. Now 5-4. And ball 4 is issued here to Alexis Gordon, who represents just the second base runner of the day for Smoky Valley. So that'll turn things over to Cameron Ryan. I had to check. I thought Ryan was wearing number 7. She was listed as number 8 on the lineup card, but number 7 on the roster. Either way, she'll keep her spot. Runner's going to take off as that ball momentarily gets past Doring. And for the second time in as many innings, there's a runner in scoring position here for Smoky Valley, this time with one away in the second. Here comes, well, an attempt at a bunt. That'll get back behind the screen, and the count stays even here at a ball and a strike. Trying to get a bunt down, popping it up, but it's in and out of the mitt of Michaela Doring. That is brutal. As Minneapolis almost had an easy second out, it was a risky play. And I believe just tossing her bat out of range. That was odd. Ryan went all the way back to the dugout. I thought for a minute that maybe she thought there were 2 strikes when she tried to put that down. She can't bunt here with a 1-2 count. Pitch from Weatherman. Inside, evens the count at 2-2. 2 base runners today for Smoky Valley, a single and a walk through the first few innings here. 2-2 to Ryan, swing and a miss. There's another strikeout, the third of the day for Weatherman, and it's 2 away for Caitlin Shashki. Shashki, take a look at her body of work this season, and she is actually in search of her first hit of the year. 136 on base percentage, 2 RBI, a couple of runs scored, but trying to get things rolling with the bat in hand from her spot down in the 8-hole. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. And Weatherman once again is ahead 0-2. Weatherman trying to get her bats back up. It'll be 9-1-2 when we return on the other side. The 0-2. She likes that high and away waist pitch when she's got one. Nobody's really bitten on it yet, but you always know it's coming. Weatherman settles back in, as does Shashki. Here comes the 1-2, and there is strike 3. 4 Ks in the first 2 innings for Brady Weatherman. And we go to the home half of inning number 2. Minneapolis up to bat when we come back. Coverage of this regional semifinal is presented by Scott Osherman at American Family Insurance.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
From raw honey to wax melts to beekeeping tools, boxes, and frames, AJ Honey Farms has it all and more. Be sure to check out their salves. Salves is a powerful blend of nature's best ingredients. Beeswax, crafted with care to soothe and nourish your dry skin, minor cuts, and burns. And for dry lips, try out their Happy Bee Balm. Treat yourself to their locally produced honey items or get a beautifully packaged gift set for a loved one. Stop in to see AJ Honey Farms at 901 North 9th Street. More than just a honey store.
Back to softball action here in Minneapolis. Coverage today presented by Scott Osherman with over 27 years as your American Family Insurance agent. With offices in Minneapolis, Belleville, and Concordia, Kansas, Scott can offer you dependable auto, home, business, health, and life insurance, as well as other kinds of insurance to help you protect your dreams. We have got a big upset potentially brewing on the other side of this bracket as we check our Bennington State Bank scoreboard and see that Nickerson, of all teams, is up 6-3 in the bottom of the 6th over Beloit. Here it's a quick 6-3 put out. Ashlyn Roth is retired. It's one down in the inning to flip things back to the top of the book and to Sydney Parks. But if that score holds, Minneapolis would be the only team in the bracket in the opening round to not be upset. Ellsworth, the 3 seed, already fell to the 6 seed in Lions. Nickerson, that's the 7 seed, up on the 2 seed in Beloit. By the way, that's a Nickerson team that came in 2-22 against a 17-8 Beloit squad. And then, of course, this Smoky Valley team got the 16-4 win over Russell. They were not separated by all that much. Smoky Valley, though, plays just a brutal schedule, too, when you look at the opponents that they have had to face. Count goes to 3-0 here on Sydney Parks. Smoky Valley taking on some of the best teams in the state, including southeast of Salina, Pratt, a couple games against Halstead. They played Heston. They played Haven. Well, Parks thought it was ball 4. Called strike 1. Parks will grab the bat. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. And it is ball 4 now. So Parks will take her base with 1 away. And Brady Weatherman, in the toughest part of the lineup, due up here to bat. Weatherman singled her first time up. She got on base and came in to score all 4 times. In the first game against Plainville Stockton, was able to mix in a couple of other accolades as well, including, I believe, 3 stolen bases in that game. I still stand by, if you weren't with us for the first game, it's the weirdest start to a baseball or softball game at any level I've ever seen, as Parks will take second base, give her a stolen base there. So just to go back and look at it, the first 9 batters against Plainville for Minneapolis, starting with Sydney Parks, who now stands aboard at second, as this is in for a called strike to bring the count to 2-0. Hit by pitch, 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 single, hit by pitch, walk. Good diving stop, but not able to make a throw is Smoky Valley shortstop Kensley Haxton. An infield single for Brady Weatherman. That's 2 aboard with 1 away. Minneapolis scored 11 runs in the bottom half of the first inning. They did so with exactly 1 hit. They were hit by 9 pitches and accepted 3 walks. Here's a chopper off the plate. That'll find its way back here to the fencing. And the count starts off at 0-1 here on Kagan Hardesty. Hardesty walked her first time up. She got on base 4 times in the first game and also had the quote-unquote walk-off game winner. That, of course, the hit that triggered the 15-run rule. And this gets into center field, and Weatherman's up another bag. Boy, the return throw back to the pitcher finds its way into center field. And Sydney Parks actually says, yeah, I'll move up on that. Rule that an E2. It's runners at the corners now, and Weatherman, knowing all of her speed, will not be long for first base here. Umpire confirms it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Here to Kagan Hardesty. Here comes the 1-1. That's in the dirt, and yep, there goes Weatherman. Death, taxes, Brady Weatherman stolen bases. Few guarantees in life. Two in scoring position, one away, and a 2-1 count to Kagan Hardesty. And she will take up and away for ball 3. This is what we were talking about. Control has been the main problem for Smoky Valley pitching-wise this year. As a pitching staff, 62 strikeouts to 132 walks. And they have added more than a few here as Hardesty will walk as well. And the bases are loaded for Bailey Randall Hurt. This is about as bad a scenario as Smoky Valley could be looking at this point in the game. Bailey Randall Hurt, so far today, reached on a walk, takes the first pitch upstairs. Back in the first game, Randall Hurt also reached base all 3 times, but she wants her first hit. She was hit by a pitch, she walked again. Those were her 3 plate appearances in the first game. Here she'll take at the knees for a called strike, and the count goes 2-1-1. Update on our Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Beloit has tied the game with Nickerson. It is now 6-6 as a ball that is tipped foul will roll to the wrong side of the chalk line, or maybe the right side of the chalk line, depending on how you're looking at it. We also, of course, welcome in our viewing audience from Smoky Valley and from the Lindsborg area, including several people who I understand are tuning in from the stands here, including Alan and Janine Litton, voices of the Bethany Swedes. Good watch there for Randall Hurt. Count goes to 2-2. Randall Hurt has been patient really from the beginning. Only a sophomore, but again, entrusted with a big spot in the lineup. Boy, you can tell Minneapolis just itching to come home, but they're not going to try to force the second out of the inning at the plate, especially not with a 3-2 count to their cleanup hitter and nowhere to put her. Bailey Randall Hurt knows this has to be in the zone. And she will watch it go by. That is called strike 3. And it falls to Sierra Cozart to try to make something of a bases-loaded situation here for the Minneapolis Lady Lions. Cozart drove in 2 runs, although they were on productive outs. A sacrifice fly in the second, an RBI ground out in the third. She was also hit by a pitch in the first inning. I'm pretty sure I was hit by a pitch in the first inning. 0-1 the count. Here comes the pitch. Taken outside. Count goes even here. And you start to see Nywick buckling down a little bit, knowing she's got nowhere to put Sierra Cozart here. 1-1 high. Makes it a 2-1 count. Cozart has put together an impressive season. By the way, only a freshman, but batting .447 on the year. Smacks this, has got a chance to get out through the hole. It's off the mitt. They're going to go ahead and wave the runner around, and here comes Weatherman. She will score standing up. Parks comes in to score. Weatherman follows, and Minneapolis doubles their lead. It is a 4-0 advantage on a 2 RBI Sierra Cozart single.
2 outs.
That's the second time today that Cozart has brought in 2 runs. First pitch in for a called strike to Ashlyn Alderson. In all the chaos, Hardesty slides up to second. That one in the dirt. Runners holding up. Again, it's Hardesty at second and Cozart at first. 1-1 pitch. Hit. Oh, an awkward hop. That's going to eat up the third baseman through no fault of her own. 1 run comes in to score, and they mishandle it. They're going to go ahead and wave the other run around. There is a throw to the plate. It is not in time. No, they say they got her, and that will end the inning. Boy, a chaotic sequence out in left field as Smoky Valley struggled to pick up the softball. And I think if Cozart doesn't slide, she's probably in safely. But either way, it's a 5-0 lead here for Minneapolis. We go to the third. Coverage of today's game is presented by Scott Osherman at American Family Insurance.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of two types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialists will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
Well, it's a 5-0 lead for Minneapolis, but it feels like it could be more. They stranded the bases loaded back in the first. They stranded a runner at first. In the second, they also had a runner that came around and tried to score and just was not quite able to get in there in time. So as we go to the third inning, it's 9-1-2 here for Smoky Valley to lead off the frame. First pitch taken high and outside by Yngve Johnson. It's got to be one of the most challenging names in the state. Actually, I had to make sure I went over and triple-checked with their head coach. YNGVE, Yngve Johnson. Early 1-1 count. Weatherman has been in control all game long, and she just continues to deal 4 strikeouts. Her defense has only needed to pick her up twice so far in this game, and the offense has given her plenty of run support to work with as well. The 2-1 is low, and the count goes to 3 balls and a strike. Johnson trying to roll things back over to the top of the lineup here. She is also in search of her first hit of the season, and that's kind of one of the rare distinctions of this team. You have 2 members in the lineup who in a 20-game season do not have a hit. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and it's held on to by the catcher. That's good work for Doering, and it's strikeout number 5 for Brady Weatherman. So to the top of the order we go. Kensley Haxton will grab a bat for the second time today. Haxton struck out swinging her first time up. Here takes the first pitch, in for a ball on the hands. Inside, not what she was looking for. We'll settle back in and take another. Here comes Weatherman's 1-0. And a good frame job, but not good enough. It's a ball, says the home plate umpire. Framing is an art at all levels of the sport. Michaela Doering has already painted a couple of beauties, but home plate umpire here keen to it. 2-0, swung on, taken to center. That's going to get down on the edge of the infield dirt. And it is a single here for Kensley Haxton. Smoky Valley's had a base runner aboard in every inning so far. They had a Nawick single in the first inning. They had a walk for Gordon in the second. And now a single for Kensley Haxton here in the third. It's 1 away, 1 aboard, and Nywick at the plate. She squares to bunt, pulls it back, runner goes. Throw to second is a good one, but it's not in time. Stolen base for Kensley Haxton. This, in part, is how Smoky Valley took it to Russell. Small ball, stolen bases, bunting, utilizing their speed. 3 home runs doesn't hurt either, to be fair. 1 ball, no strikes. Weatherman just looking to square up and get the hitter. That ball shot into the dugout. Off the top of the fence there, but you got to keep your head on a swivel over there. Quick reminder that today's game is brought to you in part by Salina Regional Health Center. They are hiring. See all their open positions and start your new career today by visiting srhc.com. 1-1. That one shot up the right side. It's under the mitt. The runner is waved around. She'll be in without a throw, and Haxton will score the first run of the day for Smoky Valley on an RBI single for Riley Nywick, and it's game on here in Minneapolis. Good work by the Lady Vikings. And that stolen base becomes critical, as now you've got the power bats up. It's Riley Tull and Kate Griffin who again have combined for all but one of the team's 14 home runs coming into today. And you can add 3 home runs between the two in the first game they played against Russell. This ball hit well out to center, tracking it back. It's up and over the head. It's off the wall, and it's a fair ball. That thing has been going under the temporary fencing. Here's a play at the plate. It's not in time. RBI double for Riley Tull, and Smoky Valley responds here in the third. It's 5-2, but the Vikings are on the prowl. Good piece of hitting, and they may not be done yet. Kate Griffin next up. You might have noticed, or you might have found it odd that I called it a fair ball in, the most dead center part of the ballpark you can have. But we have temporary fencing out in the outfield, and if you hit it anywhere near the center, we've seen this a couple times, the ball will just roll under the netting. It's more netting than fencing, and it will be a ground rule double. This one, not going to have the distance, and it is caught. Tracking over is Ashlyn Alderson. That's a big out as they get Griffin, and that is the second out of the inning. Minneapolis looking for one more. Sam Tull at the plate, trying to get things to Alexis Gordon if they can. Still a runner aboard at second base. That is Tull, and I don't know if they got crossed up or if that was fouled off. I'll tell you what, though, Michaela Doring has been taking a beating behind the plate today. Coach Weatherman coming out to check on her, make sure that she's all right. Looks a little dazed, but none the worse for wear. She's taken a couple off the shins. She took one off the thigh. Now she takes her second or third right off of the old noggin. Fans having some fun with Michaela behind the plate. Obviously a great Minneapolis crowd on hand today. The fans have traveled from Smoky Valley as well, and a round of applause as Doring gets back down into her crouch. 5-2 our score. Both runs brought across by Smoky Valley were in this half inning. The third of their 3 power bats at the plate. That ball down the line. It's fair. They will wave the runner. Tull will score easily. And it's Sam Tull driving in Riley Tull. Sister for sister swap. And it's 5-3 as Smoky Valley's comeback continues here in the third. Piece by piece, not trying to do too much. And again, that was just inside out hitting to take that down the line. It was a fair ball all the way. Still 2 down in the inning, still a 2-run lead for Minneapolis, but they've watched it shrink piece by piece. Now it falls to Alexis Gordon to try to continue it. Gordon does not have an official plate appearance in this game. She walked back in the second. She will pop it up in basically the same place, but this one hangs up and the catch is made. And that will end inning number 3, or at least the top half of it, but not before Smoky Valley makes some noise. They cut the lead to 2. You're watching coverage of the 3A regional softball tournament from the Equity Bank broadcast booth. Coverage today is brought to you by Scott Osherman at American Family Insurance.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
Your next visit to the doctor for an upcoming procedure or surgery should start with a conversation about Salina Surgical Hospital. Hi, this is Geraldine Diedrich, and we are truly committed to fostering your health and well-being. From outpatient procedures to inpatient stays, you will feel the difference in our excellent care and compassion. Talk to your doctor about scheduling your next procedure at Salina Surgical Hospital. Your surgical experience is our specialty. Salina Surgical Hospital is partially owned by a group of local, community-involved physicians.
To the home half of the third inning we go. It will be Miley McClure, Michaela Doering, and Ashlyn Roth, the bottom three in the lineup, trying to regain a little bit of that lead. It was 5-0, now it's 5-3. And for the third time in this game, Minneapolis will grab their bats and look to add to it. It's been a good start for the most part for Riley Nywick. And Nywick, outside of the control issues, she's been solid this year. She's also been touched up, though, for that 6.3 ERA. And that one misses high. Didn't have a chance to go through it earlier, but let's take a look at our field and weather conditions presented by Landscape Consultants. You take a look around. It's an all-natural infield dirt, outfield grass surface here in Minneapolis. You've got the temporary fencing to contend with in the outfield. You also have a pure chain link backstop here. And there is wood plating behind home plate, so you got to think anything that gets back there is just going to bounce back to the catcher. That's something to keep an eye on when there's a runner on third, as a called strike makes it 3-1. Next pitch, inside-out swing, fouled away. We've got a huge update on our Bennington State Bank scoreboard across the bracket in arguably the most exciting fashion you can do it, as we've got a walk here to Miley McClure. Beloit walks it off 7-6 on an inside the park home run. They survive and advance against Nickerson. They will take on Lions. And the winner of that game and the winner of this game will meet in the regional championship game for a ticket to state this Wednesday here at Minneapolis at 6 p.m. 1-0 misses high. Those updates brought to you by master statistician and custodian of records, also sports director Devin Haney. 2-0 pitch, misses outside. You don't want to get too cute against the bottom of the order here. Already a walk to the 7-hole hitter in Miley McClure. And now a 4-pitch walk to Michaela Doering. And this is where Smoky Valley's gotten themselves into trouble this year. It's back-to-back walks to the 7 and 8-hole hitters. And Osherman is going to check back in to run at first base. She got a big hit back in the first game. And we've got a meeting on the mound here, although no coach involved. Smoky Valley's infield wants to talk this over amongst themselves. The last thing you want, though, is to get Ashlyn Roth on board and then have to face the top of the order. That's what they are kind of toying with right now. Smoky Valley needs to find a way to tighten this up. There's a 4-pitch walk to Doering, who's aboard at first. A 5-pitch walk to McClure, who stands aboard at second. And Minneapolis, yeah, this is what they do. They're going to try to play some small ball. They want to bunt the runners over with nobody out. It's a great call. With the speed that this Minneapolis team has, oftentimes you can call it a sacrifice bunt, but they're bunting for a hit. The intention 100% is to get themselves aboard. Here comes another pitch. That's in the dirt. You got to give a lot of credit as well to Alexis Gordon, who has not let much get by her. Runners moved up all the time on pass balls in the quarterfinal for both of these teams, but not so against each other. And that might not have been the pitch to bunt, as Roth will fall behind 1-2. She'll have to swing away here. Minneapolis scratched across 2 in the first inning. They scratched across 3 in the second inning. The 1-2 misses high. Another good stop there by Gordon. Lady Vikings looking to pull off the upset The 2-2 pitch outside. That's going to get by. Everyone moves up a station. And that will put McClure at third and Doring at second. Crucial passed ball now. There's no chance of the traditional double play. You can't get the lead runner, and there's still nobody out. Here comes the payoff pitch. It's high, ball 4. And with that, Smoky Valley has walked the bases loaded. And here comes the top of the Minneapolis lineup.
Parks is up, Weatherman on deck, Hardesty in the hole. Nobody out.
Sydney Parks, Brady Weatherman, and Kagan Hardesty. And if there's one player in attendance today who is due for a hit, it is Sydney Parks. The senior's been great this year, batting .314, slugging .431, 8 RBI, 37 runs scored. But so far today, in game number 1, she was 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch. Here she's 0 for 1 with a walk. The 1-1. That is hit foul down the third base line, scooped up there by Smoky Valley. And the count to 1-2. Parks got to get protective. Watches strike 3. And that is the first out of the inning, and a big one for Smoky Valley as they get it without conceding a run. But here comes one-woman wrecking crew, Brady Weatherman. Boy, has she been a problem today. Weatherman back in game 1, reached base 3 times, came in to score 3 times. 2 stolen bases, a triple, and RBI. Here in this game, she's reached twice, and she's scored twice. She will take the first 2 pitches. They split. Count goes to 1-1. Beautiful day for some high school softball. Sunny and 75. Someone should really write a country song about that. This pitch in the dirt. Count goes to 2-1. Weatherman a single and an infield single. Nowhere to put her. 2-1 to Weatherman. Also in the dirt and an ideal hitter's count. The neon green light going to be flicked on for Brady Weatherman. Riley Nywick back to the wall. Here comes the 3-1. It is chopped down the line, picked up. They'll come to the plate. And, yep, they did get her. You saw the umpire initially went to make the safe call, but he did overturn it. I've got a great view of this one. He nailed it. She was out. So they will cut McClure down at the plate. Doring moves up to third. Roth to second. Weatherman reaches on the fielder's choice. And it falls to Kagan Hardesty to try to make something of this. Missed opportunities have been the theme of the day for Minneapolis. They left the bases loaded in the first. They left runners technically at the corners in the second. And it was a base running miscue that allowed the final out to be made at the plate. Here they've got them loaded again. That one, though, up the middle, that's going to score at least 1 run. We'll see if they risk it, and they will. There won't be a throw. It's a 2 RBI single for Kagan Hardesty. And the Lady Lions take a 7-3 lead here in the third. Excellent piece of hitting there. Weatherman up to second on the play. Doring and Roth both come in to score, and the speed of Minneapolis remains a problem for all who stand opposed. This one popped up. Randall Hurt got way under it, and that will end the inning, but not before the Lady Lions strike for 2 more runs. They take a 7-3 lead into inning number 4. We will step away. When we come back, it's the 4th inning of action. The regional tournament semifinal round. Coverage from the Equity Bank broadcast booth is presented by Scott Osherman at American Family Insurance.
I'm Ryan Arms, your mortgage loan originator at Equity Bank here in Salina, Kansas. I'm a lifelong Salina
I've always believed in love stories that last forever. At
resident here to tell you our bank can offer you mortgage and refinance options with terms designed for you. Why leave our community when you can choose the bank that never forgets it's your money? With 2 locations in town on Ohio Street and Santa Fe Avenue, there's no better time to apply online, in person, or over the phone. Learn more at equitybank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Close your eyes. Now, from the bleachers at Salina South, feel the pride of donning the colors of Salina Central. Picture the spirit of being part of the Sacred Heart community, or the camaraderie at southeast of Saline. Envision the thrill of supporting El Saline or Bennington. Visualize the unity in rallying for Minneapolis High. Now open your eyes and see yourself in team apparel from Messenger Total Promotions. Visit them in person in downtown Salina.
Fans, don't forget the official apparel provider for the Salina Post sports team is Messenger Total Promotions and more. They can custom make anything and also have items for your car. Messenger Total Promotions in Salina, Minneapolis, and Junction City. Boy, Minneapolis conceded a couple of runs. They got them right back, though. And they are on the prowl here, leading it 7-3 as we go to the fourth inning for Smoky Valley. It'll be the bottom third of the order. Cameron Ryan, Caitlin Shashke, and Ingday Johnson. This is a part of the lineup that the first time facing Weatherman went in short order, 3 straight strikeouts, and Weatherman, boy, right back at it as she is ahead 0-2 here on Cameron Ryan. Ryan, the center fielder, standing in here from the right side. She is at the ready. Here comes the 0-2. Weatherman typically has brought that pitch up and out. It's a foul ball. Weatherman good at painting her spots, and I would say that's maybe the biggest thing. Her accuracy has improved from a season ago here in her senior year. Remember a couple of good battles that Minneapolis had with southeast of Saline a season ago, and it's a different Brady Weatherman this year. Big swing and a miss, strike 3. Cameron Ryan down on strikes. That's strikeout number 6 for Brady Weatherman. Also a reminder, coverage of today's games are brought to you by Scott Osherman with over 27 years as your American Family Insurance agent and with offices in Minneapolis, Belleville, and Concordia, Kansas, as this ball is popped to the second baseman. Scott can offer you dependable auto, home, business, health, and life insurance as well as other kinds of insurance to help you protect your dreams. Good work here for Brady Weatherman and company. They're working quick here in the top of the fourth as we're almost halfway home. Sun's starting to set, temperatures starting to cool, and for fans just in general of good area high school sports, we've got plenty more where this came from. As a swing and a miss, we'll put Ingve Johnson behind. Coming up tomorrow, we have a pair of, well, a double and a triple header. If you're into 5A softball, you can catch Salina South and Salina Central as they battle it out in the first round, hoping to meet each other in a regional championship game in Salina. Those games will get underway at about 3, looking to make their first trip back to state in a very long time. We'll have coverage of the 4A state tournament as well. Be sure to keep it tuned right here to Salina Post and to the Salina Post YouTube page. Also give us a follow on Twitter at SPostSports or on Facebook at Salina Post for all the latest scheduling updates on what we've got coming up here on the Salina Post Sports Network. 1-2 is in there for a called strike 3. Ingve can only watch it go by, and it's 7 strikeouts for Weatherman. We're halfway home. It's a 7-3 lead for Minneapolis. Coverage of the regional semifinal is presented by Scott Osherman at American Family Insurance.
Are you ready to make a meaningful impact? Join the professional healthcare team at Salina Regional Health Center. They're seeking nurse assistants who are eager to provide exceptional care to our community. Their growing organization offers competitive pay, comprehensive benefits, and tuition reimbursement. If you're ready to join a team that values compassion, teamwork, and outstanding patient care, apply now at srhc.com or reach out to Human Resources. Great careers start here. Salina Regional Health Center. They take care of you so you can care for others.
I've always believed in love stories that last forever. At Vernon Jewelers, we've been crafting these stories for 141 years. Each piece is a chapter in a journey, a testament to timeless romance. Whether it's an engagement ring or a cherished anniversary gift, we create memories that sparkle. Look for that iconic sign and discover our collection and personalized customer service in our 141st year. We're not old, just really good at what we do. Vernon Jewelers in downtown Salina, because love deserves that perfect setting.
Back here on the Salina Post Sports Network inside the Equity Bank broadcast booth, Tyler Henry alongside you, Brian Dennett, handling all of our camera and production duties today. Coverage of today's Minneapolis games are presented by Scott Osherman at American Family Insurance, and it's Minneapolis looking to keep the line moving here. 2 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 more in the third. They take a 7-3 lead as we go to the home half of inning number 4. Back out for another inning of work is Well, a swing and a ball driven to deep left center field. It takes a hop over the fence. It is a ground rule double for Sierra Cozart. And consider the party started here in Minneapolis as Cozart hits the Karate Kid on second base. Great piece of hitting there for the Lady Lions, and here comes Ashlyn Alderson.
Alderson is up, McClure on deck, Doring in the hole, nobody out.
Alderson today has reached base on an RBI single and a walk, and this is really where the offense has come to life. 15 runs, but only on 4 hits in the first game of this bracket against Plainville Stockton earlier this afternoon. And Minneapolis, I mean, they have really, really fired up the bats. Part of that is that they've gotten more pitches to actually look at. They were hit by 14 pitches, and they were walked 5 times in that game against Plainville Stockton. Here, a lot more has been over the plate, and they have found a way to do a lot with that. If you're enjoying coverage of this regional semifinal or of any of our state coverage, regular season coverage, sub-state coverage, you name it, baseball, basketball, softball, football, please do consider giving us a subscribe here. The response to the coverage we've done has been kind of overwhelming, and we are fast approaching 2,000 subscribers. So if you would give us a sub, it really helps us out here and helps us continue to bring you the best high school coverage in the area. As a swing and a miss will put Ashlyn Alderson down on strikes. That is the second K of the day for Riley Nywick. Turns things over to Miley McClure, who's reached base twice today without the aid of a hit. That ball gets by the catcher. And Sierra Cozart will slide up and take third base. So it's McClure up now, Doring in the on-deck circle. The entire lineup has been productive. Everybody has reached base. Almost everybody has come in to score. That ball struck well to deep left center field. Kiss it goodbye. It's a 2-run shot for Miley McClure. And the Lady Lions add to their lead here in the 4th. Boy, you could tell off the bat that thing had no chance at staying in the yard. And it's the Lady Lions who just continue to add to what was already a confident lead, and now it's a 6-run advantage. Miley McClure, I don't know of many 7-hole hitters that lead the team in home runs. McClure now has 5 of the team's 8 on the year. First pitch to Michaela Doring. It looked like it might have gotten her foot, and it did. And I think the only person that was confused about that was Doring herself. Boy, Doring can't catch a break. I know she gets a free base, and if you're going to get hit, you want to get hit on the toe. But at the same time, she's been taking a beating behind the plate as the catcher, and now she gets plunked by a pitch. And it will be Osherman coming in to run for her once again. But you can just tell how much this team trusts Osherman as a pinch runner. And, well, there you go. She'll take off, and she has got second base without any hesitation. At the plate, it's Ashlyn Roth. So far today, a walk, a run scored, and a ground out. It's been a relatively uneventful afternoon here. Here pulls the bat back, and Osherman caught between bases, but nobody covering second. So she will scamper back in safely. The count, meanwhile, goes to 1-0 here on Roth, who's still looking for her first hit of the day. Roth slaps this up near the middle. They're going to try to and succeed in tagging Osherman at second. That's a tough break. And that will be the second out of the inning. You have to rule. Comes Sydney Parks, still looking for that first hit of the regional tournament so far. Quick journalistic edit. If you're into the 5A state tournament, those games will actually begin at 2 p.m. tomorrow as Salina Central takes on Emporia, and then after that it'll be South against Newton. Here's a good back pick. It's off the leg of the runner. Awkward play there. Roth caught off the bag, but just kind of takes it there. So it's Central and Emporia, it's South and Newton, and then it's the winners in a regional championship, the winner of which will go to the 5A state tournament. We have got some really impressive softball teams here in our area. I mean, we have been spoiled across the board. We cover 11 schools, 10 of them play diamond sports. And you look at the sample size of games we've had access to this week. I mean, Minneapolis comes in the 1 seed at 18-4. Southeast of Salina is a 1 seed. They were your league champs here in the NCAA. Of course, they had 5 losses, but a lot of those came against teams like Wamego. Salina South and Salina Central have both been good. Chapman's a 2 seed. Here's a ball popped up, falling fast into the Ravenna triangle behind the third base bag. That's one way to get your first hit of the day, and Sydney Parks has singled to move Ashlyn Roth and bring up Brady Weatherman with 2 outs in the inning. I know I'm forgetting somebody there too, but like I said, area softball around here has been fantastic. And we have loved bringing you coverage of plenty of it, both in the regular season and throughout the week. Weatherman takes the first pitch at the knees. Didn't really get into it, but later this week, we will also have coverage of the Sacred Heart baseball team as they continue regional play at the TMP Regional. Weatherman watches in for a called strike. That evens the count at 1-1. And then if Southeast of Salina can find a way to get to the championship game at Osage City, we'll try to bring you coverage of that one on Thursday. This ball taken right back to the pitcher should be easy work, and it is. And once again, the inning comes to an end, but not before the Lady Lions strike for 2. They lead it 9-3 as we go to the 5th inning of action. Coming up next on the Salina Post Sports Network, live from the Equity Bank broadcast booth. Coverage today is presented by Scott Osherman at American Family Insurance.
Life is better with American Family Insurance because our agents provide specialized local expertise to help you get the right coverage at the right price. We understand that farming and ranching is at the heart of what you do, and we want to help protect what you've worked so hard for. Let's build the policy your farm and ranch deserves.
Contact Scott Osherman, agent at Scott Osherman Agency, Inc. at 785-392-3111 today.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
Back at the ballpark here in Minneapolis, I mentioned I probably missed a stellar high school softball team, and I was absolutely right. How about 21-1 Bennington? We covered them a couple weeks ago, and that's another team that is going to be primed to make a run to a 1-2A state tournament. Here it's Minneapolis looking to take the next step on their journey. Coverage of both games today presented by Scott Osherman at American Family Insurance. And a warning has been issued to the Minneapolis bench about something. Timing-wise, this ball laced down the line, but foul. Not sure what that was all about, but yeah, something about either Brady Weatherman not being ready or somebody not being ready, but they're trying to kind of keep this going. We do have the courtesy of lights here, so we're not trying to beat the sun in Minneapolis today. Good pitch in for a strike. Count goes to 0-2 here on Kensley Haxton. It's the top of the order. Kensley Haxton, Riley Nywick, and Riley Toll to lead it off for Smoky Valley. Another pitch fouled back to the screen, and the count stays at 0-2. Smoky Valley's got to feel like they've been picking it up here at the end of the season. They want this to mean something. They would love to play for a chance to sneak into the state tournament. But they've got work to do, and that's not going to help. As strike 3 held on to by the catcher. 8 Ks in this game for Brady Weatherman. Excellent work. So one away here for Riley Nywick, trying to earn herself some run support. First pitch to her looks good and is good. In for a called strike. Count goes to 0-1. Weatherman has been in a groove. She's given up a few runs. They all came back in that third inning. But aside from that, I mean, she has looked as close to untouchable as untouchable gets. She's given up about a base runner per half inning. But she's been so unbothered by that. We see pitchers all the time. Somebody gets on base, kind of get in their head. They start making mistakes. They walk people. That's just not the game or in the DNA of Brady Weatherman at all. Here she is ahead once again, 0-2 this time on Riley Nywick. She has not struck Nywick out. 7 strikeouts. Nywick has actually been kind of the biggest thorn in her side. 2 singles and an RBI, and there you go. Weatherman comes back, and she gets her. Strike 3, 9 on the day for Weatherman. Here come the power bats, but they're going to come up with nobody on here in the 5th. Riley Toll, an RBI double and a run scored. That came back in inning number 3. First pitch to her is low and outside. And with nobody on and 2 away, I'm not saying Weatherman's afraid of anybody, but if she wants to pitch around this part of the lineup, she's earned the right. One 1-0 finds its way into the dirt. Nywick, after striking out, turns it over to Toll. Toll again had 2 home runs earlier this afternoon in the big win over Russell. A Russell team that did not look like the favorites on paper. That was not a particularly big gap either. Talking about a Russell team that was 7-19. Smoky Valley was 5-15. And, I mean, Smoky Valley looked leagues ahead. This ball hit over the head of Bailey Randall Hurt. She will run it down. Fortunately, we've also managed to stay out of the way of some severe weather that's been popping in and around and all around Kansas. But like I said, we have cleared out, and we're hoping for a nice dry week of softball conditions. Big swing and a miss, and she gets Toll too. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. 3 straight strikeouts to retire the 5th. And to the home half we go. Minneapolis looking to add to their 9-3 lead when we return on the Salina Post Sports Network. Coverage today presented by Scott Osherman and American Family Insurance.
We spend 1/3 of our lives working to build our wealth. With over 50 years of combined experience, Billings Group wants to be there to help manage yours. If you're planning for retirement or looking for financial coaching, then come see us on Westchester Drive, east of the YMCA, or visit our website at billingsgroup.com. Securities offered by registered representatives through Private Client Services. Member FINRA, SIPC. Advisory products and services offered by investment advisory representatives through RFG Advisory, a registered investment advisor. RFG Advisory, Billings Group, and Private Client Services are unaffiliated entities.
Want to remind you that coverage of these games by Minneapolis are presented by Scott Osherman, with over 27 years as your American Family Insurance agent and with offices in Minneapolis, Belleville, and Concordia, Kansas. Scott can offer you dependable auto, home, business, health, and life insurance, as well as other kinds of insurance to help you protect your dreams. Here it's the chance from the Minneapolis crowd. The Lions looking to protect a 6-run lead as they're looking for some insurance of their own. And a high chopper is going to get through as Kagan Hardesty will start the party with a single. Boy, the ball got away momentarily. You saw Hardesty gave it a thought, but ultimately leaves it where it's at. And here comes Bailey Randall Hurt. The Lady Lions, relentless, and it hasn't come in one big outburst. It was 2 in the first. It was 3 in the second. It was 2 in the third. It was 2 more in the fourth. And they want more. You can tell this team, they are hungry to wrap this thing up. Lights are off for now. Sun's starting to set. Shadow's going to play a role as the sunlight lowers right into where the pitcher's looking. They do have some cover with the bleachers set. I will say that's the thing that's impressed me the most. Bleachers all over the place here in Minneapolis. I've not done a softball game here before, but boy, they have really set themselves up. They've got plenty of seating, and they've needed it today. Entertaining games, plenty of fans making their way out against Smoky Valley just a little way up the road. And Bailey Randall Hurt with a 3-0 count will watch ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk. It's runners at first and second for the Lady Lions. And here comes Sierra Cozart with Ashlyn Alderson on deck. Cozart has been a menace to society in this game. An infield single for 2 RBI in the first, a single for 2 RBI in the second, a double and a run scored in the third. But at this point, everyone in the lineup has earned something, and you really don't have anyone you can pitch around, especially with Miley McClure lurking down in that 7-hole. The 1-0's in the dirt. Everyone takes off. Everyone is up a station. Hardesty to third. Randall Hurt to second. 2 in scoring position. Boy, Sierra Cozart has been driving in runs like it's going out of style. She's got a chance to bring in a few more here. Takes a pitch right in there for a strike. Cozart also had 2 RBI back in the first game. She might be the hero, the unsung hero of this 2-game set so far. The 2-1 is fouled away, and we will do it again. I mean, you got to think, Cozart so far today, in 6 plate appearances, has driven in 5 runs. It's almost 1 run coming in every time she's at the plate. The 2-2. Misses high. She leaves it there. You could tell she thought about it. She's got a big old grin on her face as she looks back to her teammates, who also knew that she almost swung. Here comes a big payoff pitch. It's on the ground. They will go to first. It is going to be a bouncer that finds its way back to the dugout. Cozart to second, and Randall Hurt never stopped running. Cozart to third. The ball got by the left fielder, picks it up. Cozart, knowing the situation and seeing Smoky Valley distracted, says, you know what? I'm just going to take third base as well. My goodness. Sierra Cozart brings in 2 more runs. You give her 1 RBI on the play, but every time she's at the plate, something good is happening for Minneapolis, and they lead 11-3. And now it's really getting to be crunch time for Smoky Valley, who cannot afford to see 2 more runs come across. And you've still got Ashlyn Alderson and Miley McClure to contend with. Want to remind you that Sage Products of Salina is your supplier of janitorial products for your business or home. From paper towels to soap and items from ceiling to floor, you'll see products from Sage, and you can get the same home field advantage at your home or office by visiting sageselects.com. Also, Messenger Total Promotions, the official apparel provider for the Salina Post sports team, is Messenger Total Promotions. See them in downtown Salina for local high school swag like hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and more. They can custom make anything and also have high school items for your car. Messenger Total Promotions in Salina, Minneapolis, and Junction City. Another runner aboard at third, a bat at the plate. It's Ashlyn Alderson. Alderson has 1 RBI today. It was on a single in the second. She is 1 for 2, a single, a walk, and a strikeout. There's still nobody out in the inning. Pitch on the way. That ball struck well. It is going to get up and over the fence for an RBI ground rule double. And Ashlyn Alderson keeps the pressure on for the Lady Lions as Miley McClure comes to bat. And it's another run here for Minneapolis, who lead 13-3. Still waiting to see the run go up on the board unless I've miscalculated, which is possible. We're past my fingers and toes count. And no, it is 12. 12-3. Minneapolis, if they can score 1 more, this puppy is over. Lady Lions looking to get their way into the championship game at this regional. How about Coach Weatherman making a play? Boy, keeps it in front of him, knocks it down. He's an athlete out there. You can just tell. Miley McClure already has a home run today. That ball gets by, and the runner moves up 60 feet, and the potential game-winning run is just 60 feet away. McClure at the plate, Alderson at third base. The 2-1 pitch misses high. It's a 3-1 count. There's still nobody out. And the corner infield will come in. They know they have to cut the run down at the plate, or else the game will end. It is a walk on 5 pitches. McClure will take her base, and it falls to Michaela Doring to try to put this game to bed. So far today, Doring a walk and a hit by pitch. Back in game number 1, a walk, actually a single and a hit by pitch. Runner goes for second. Of course, that run means nothing, but they'll remove the force possibility. So with McClure aboard at second, the only priority for the Lions is to get Alderson home. Big swing and a miss, and about the only thing that doesn't help you here is a strikeout, as the count goes to 0-2 on Michaela Doring. Pitch up and out. Easy waste pitch. The other thing you don't want to do here if you're Minneapolis and if you're Alderson is make the first out at home on something silly. This ball is hit on its way out to center. It gets down. It will end the game. Michaela Doring will drive in the game-winning run, and the Minneapolis Lady Lions have punched their ticket to the regional championship game. They will play the winner of Beloit and Lions, who will do battle here in just about 15 minutes. But Minneapolis this Wednesday on their own home turf is going to have an opportunity to punch their ticket to a 3A state tournament. We'll step away. When we come back, we'll put the finishing touches on this one. Coverage has been presented by Scott Osherman at American Family Insurance.
Life is better with American Family Insurance because our agents provide specialized local expertise to help you get the right coverage at the right price. We understand that farming and ranching is at the heart of what you do, and we want to help protect what you've worked so hard for. Let's build the policy your farm and ranch deserves.
Contact Scott Osherman, agent at Scott Osherman Agency, Inc. at 785-392-3111 today.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
We spend 1/3 of our lives working to build our wealth. With over 50 years of combined experience, Billings Group wants to be there to help manage yours. If you're planning for retirement or looking for financial coaching, then come see us on Westchester Drive, east of the YMCA, or visit our website at billingsgroup.com. Securities offered by registered representatives through Private Client Services, member FINRA, SIPC. Advisory products and services offered by investment advisory representatives through RFG Advisory, a registered investment advisor. RFG Advisory, Billings Group, and Private Client Services are unaffiliated entities.
Back inside the Equity Bank broadcast booth here to put the finishing touches on this one. A doubleheader, technically a doubleheader victory for the Minneapolis Lady Lions to eliminate Plainville Stockton 15-0 in just 4 innings. They turn around and they knock off Smoky Valley 13-3. This time around, they get the job done in just 5. 2 huge wins. It advances Minneapolis to the regional championship game coming up this Wednesday at Minneapolis. It'll be played at 6 p.m., and it'll be against either the 2 seed in Beloit, who squeaked by Nickerson on a walk-off inside the park home run to advance to 18-8, or the Lady Lions, who pulled off an upset win. They are now 5-18. They defeated Ellsworth 7-6 earlier today. Overall, a great day at the ballpark here for the Lady Lions. Again, they got it done from start to finish. And really, the unsung heroes were the 2 pitchers. In game number 1, the win went to Kagan Hardesty. In game 2, the win went to Brady Weatherman, who, by the way, picked up her 100th win of the her 100th strikeout of the season. And again, Minneapolis gets it done. 15-0 in Game 1, 13-3 in Game 2. They are on to the regional championship game this Wednesday. That'll about wrap it up for us, but one last time for Tyler Henry down here alongside you. Field side for Brian Dennett handling all of our camera and production duty today. I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. This has been 3A Regional Softball. You caught it here on the Salina Post Sports Network, courtesy of Scott Osherman. With over 27 years as your American Family Insurance agent and with offices in Minneapolis, Belleville, Concordia, Scott can offer you dependable auto, home, business, health, and life insurance, as well as other kinds of insurance to help you protect your dreams. We will be back tomorrow for the 5A state tournament. Things open up between Salina Central's softball team. They look for a big win, and that will get underway at 2 p.m. tomorrow. We'll also have coverage of the 4A state softball tournament and follow the Chapman Fighting Irish as they look to punch their ticket. Their first game tomorrow is the second game of the day. Stay tuned for posted times. They will take on Concordia. But that'll do it for us. Thank you once again for tuning in inside the Equity Bank broadcast booth. This has been the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week, and it's presented by Scott Osherman at American Family Insurance.